a high office. Of course, we waited for that approval. On Friday, it did not come. We had to protest. You recall, I remember I had an interview with your colleague from, that should be TV47, and I did explain what we would do or what we were doing then to fast track this process. You'd recall that I did write to the ODPP requiring an urgent action in that regard. We received a call over the weekend, precisely on Sunday, asking us to make the informer available as well as the family of the victim, that is Brian Odhiambo, so that we can then visit the park. That would not have been possible yesterday because most of us were not within town. And so we scheduled the exercise for today, and that is what we've been doing since morning. Now, to give an update, when we visited the park, you'd recall that there has been, in our view, concerted efforts to frustrate the entire exercise of an investigation into the now what we understand to be the forced disappearance of Brian Odhiambo. When we got to the park today, of course, there were intense, checks. They had to even, ask that we only a few of us get into the park. Of course, they said they had their reasons to do that. But then at around 12, I believe, we managed to get down into the park. We visited two sites. One was close to, I think that should be the Baboon Cliff, and the other just adjacent to the Baboon Cliff. Now, peculiar things that we did observe at Baboon Cliff, there was something that would look like a shallow grave. Of course, for us, we did help the DCI. Those of us who were there, we helped the DCI secure the place. Although there were also a few efforts here and there to try mislead us, mislead all of us, I must say this. But we managed to secure the place. Of course, we did some digging, and we didn't find the body. We didn't find a body there, but the investigators took samples of soil from that place. We were also told that the soil from that place had been used to help some flowers grow somewhere. So we also had to go and see where those flowers were. Of course, we were a little disappointed with what we saw there. My friend Hussein and Masese would have a mention of what we made of the observation at around that place. We moved to a second site where the informer took us. We found 6 holes, 6 shallow holes to be precise. Of course, they have an explanation. The people at the park would tell you what those or who made those shallow holes, but also we dug up some. We, especially where the informer did tell us, was the site where he was told Brian had been buried. We didn't find a body there, but that the DCI officers also took the soil samples, they said for forensics and for purposes of ascertaining whether there was a body in that place that had been buried. I may also need to inform you that as we were going to that place, at first we had a foul smell come from some adjacent place. I must mention that. But on going back again, I think we lost the sight of where the smell was coming from. We didn't make much headway with that. Importantly to note, and we did bring this to the attention of the DCI officers, that at the first site, and indeed around that area where Baboon Cliff is, we noted that there are CCTV cameras. Our position is that those images from those cameras must be reviewed, because we were informed that the soil from the first, what we would now call a grave site, was taken from that place around 2 days ago. And we believe then that there must have been some activity around there that was captured on those cameras. Now, much of what happened today, what do we make of it? From where I stand, we are making the first few steps towards the conclusive investigations into the disappearance of Brian Odhiambo, and indeed to many others who may have disappeared under similar circumstances. For us, it's a step in the right direction, although we have observed that there are concerted efforts. This I want to say. There are concerted efforts for us not to get any headway with these investigations. Our view is that we will continue pushing on, and we will continue inviting more people who have information that would assist the family and everyone else who is interested in this cause to reach at a destination where we would say there has been fairness and justice for the family of Brian and for Brian himself. Now that is the much I would say for now, unless you have questions for me.
Probably Wakili, when they told you, talking of the shallow graves, what did they tell you exactly why they were there in the first place once you did, immediately you didn't find the bodies?
Well, when we didn't find the bodies, at first when we got to the first site, a peculiar thing that happened. The in charge of Baboon Cliff came straight away, of course, to that site and was saying, oh no, this was, where we took some soil 2 days ago to go and plant flowers with. For us, 2 days really goes back to the day when the informer came out. It is a striking coincidence. A question anyone would ask. I mean, how so convenient that it's only 2 days ago when you learnt about an informer that is here and saying there is a body here, and then you found it convenient to take soil from that place to go and plant flowers with. So I think it should disturb everybody's mind, including the minds of those who are investigating. I'm also reminded, perhaps even as we continue taking your questions, that when we were still there, we learned that, number one, all those officers that were there when Brian disappeared have actually been transferred. That is something worth noting. All the KWS rangers that were there have been transferred. Number two, as we speak, you recall there was the in-charge who had come to court to explain what had happened to the guy who had been arrested, Mr. Oyugi. Mr. Oyugi is no longer at Lake Nakuru National Park. That park is under a new sheriff, the one who takes orders from above concerning whether we can access that place or not. A new sheriff is in town, together with, I think, even the assistant, who has been also quite overzealous in this cause, is also new. So that may be a point to note, even as we make progress with this matter.
Mimi ndio Mama Brian Odhiambo, mwenye tulienda kutafuta game park ndani, lakini mimi kama mzazi sijaridhika na kenye nimeona. Hizo grave yenye nimeona ni kama zimetolewa mwili ndani, zimefichwa pahali. Si ati tumeenda huko bure, lakini najua itajulikana tu. Kenye wanaficha mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu hawataficha. Mimi niko na huzuni mingi sana, sina raha hata kidogo, lakini najua mtoto wangu nitapata. Hata kama wamemtoa kwa ile shimo, wamemficha pahali pengine, atapatikana tu. Sijaridhika hata kidogo na kenye nimeona huko ndani.
Mimi ndo mke wake Brian, mimi naitwa Alvia huko Okelo. Na ilikuwa tuingie KWS on Thursday. Na imagine uwezi ambia mtu tunakuja kwako, alafu expect aache hapo evidence. Ni kweli tumepata shimo, but hazina watu na tujaridhika. Mimi kitu naweza waambia, kesho tunafikisha mwezi 2 tangu Brayo apotee. Msaidieni tu, msaidie watoto wangu kutupatia tu Brayo na justice ya Brayo.
Very briefly, Kusabu, the advocate and the family have said much that needs to be said. Just to say that this information broke out on Thursday, and everyone impressed on KWS since that day to allow people to go in so that we can ascertain whether the claims by the witness are true or not. But since Thursday, it has been frustration. Friday, no entry. Saturday, Sunday, even the DCI, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, who are responsible for scenes of crime were denied entry into the park until today. Leo ndio finally wamesema sasa munaweza kuja ndani. And let us remind everyone that the witness that we had did not, beat around the bush. When we arrived at the scene, he went straight to where he said he saw the bodies. If he has been away, how did he know that there are holes there, that there are graves there, or anything that might have been there? This is the question we are asking. The witness said that he saw shallow graves, and that in one of those graves, there was the body of Brian Odhiambo. We went up to that particular spot. It was marked by the DCI as spot number 4. We even tried to dig, but there was nothing there. But clearly, without a doubt, there was a hole there. Some activity had been going on there. So we don't know exactly what is happening, but what we are saying is, as Wakil has said, this is a step in the right direction, and we will continue to push and push until the truth is revealed and the family of Brian gets justice. Yes, as we were approaching the second scene, there was a foul smell. All of us who are in the vehicles could feel the smell, and we were concerned. And we said, we have to definitely look into that particular scene. And we proceeded on to where we now saw the 6 freshly dug holes or graves, but then there were also others that appeared to be a bit older than the other 6 that were freshly dug. The forensics took the samples. They said they will take those to the government forensics and chemists, and that in 2 or 3 weeks they'll be able to get back to us with results. But we are hoping that the DCI will proceed in the right direction with speed and haste, so that we can uncover the truth, so that Kenyans can know what truly happened in the case of Brian Odhiambo.
The lawyer have said, and the Khalid have said here, on Thursday is when we attempted to go to the lake, but you have been told what happened. We stayed the whole day here. Then when we reached to the park, we were told we were not allowed to go in. So we have been waiting, and today we accompanied the witness who have been under protection, and he led us up to the lake. And although we were at the gate, still even today they didn't want many people to go in, but at least few of us got a chance to get in. So we have seen the 2 sites, the scene of crime, 2 sites. And as he has said, we are waiting for forensic because we didn't find the bodies, but we found the suspect knew what he was saying, because he went straight. He had the one site where he had said there was one body. We started with it, and then we proceeded to the next site, the second site. And unfortunately, we have not found the bodies. But our wonders is, since Thursday, when this information came in that we were supposed to go and find out or visit the scene of crime, we don't know what have happened for that long time. Maybe, I don't want to speculate, but there was enough time maybe for them to...
The jury is out there.
Yeah, they had enough time to clean their house, so we don't know, but we are expecting justice to be seen done. What we are crying for is for Brian to be, his body to be maybe seen or maybe told where it was taken. So we are still waiting.
What the media can help us is to keep this case alive. I think so far what has kept it going is the fact that you have kept it alive. So we'll continue beseeching you to keep it alive until such a time as we define closure. Number 2, you may want to ask yourselves, why have they transferred staff from Lake Nakuru National Park, while the wardens who were there, not there anymore. If that's not what cover-up is all about. Would recall that during the first court process, when we petitioned habeas corpus, we had asked the court to ensure that the management of Lake Nakuru National Park would produce Brian, dead or alive. None other than the chief warden did indicate. You all remember the case. You would also remember what DCI said, that he had 6 suspects. What became of the 6 suspects? Up until now, where are they? Where are the 6 suspects? So we would expect the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to come out to the open and tell us where the 6 suspects are. Are they among those that have been transferred? The chief warden who appeared in court, Mr. Oko, is on his way out. Why? Mr. Oyugi is on his way out. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. All this is to cover up. So in as much as they are doing this, if we remain united, all of us, including you in the media, by keeping this case alive, they're never going to run away from justice. So that's the commitment we have. That's the resolve we have to ensure that we pursue justice for the family until such a day when the truth is known to the world. And because the Wood Kenyan who came out to report that he had been shown by a warden, that's the statement on record, Wakiri. Yes. So one of the things, of course, we're going to follow up with the DCI on, where is this warden? Because the name is known, even the phone number is known. Only this morning there was a rumor. We treat it as a rumor. But because it's a case under active investigations, it's only fair for us to give time to DCI to continue, because evidence keeps coming up. So it's only fair for us to allow DCI time to consider the new evidence, so that then we get to know. The leads are very, very clear, if you asked me. Because the week before Brian disappeared, if you went to KWS, you would know who were on duty. On the material day when Brian disappeared, not DCI, but KWS knows who was on duty. The vehicle that was used on that day is known. It's not so difficult because there are witnesses. None other than Brian's mother saw KWS officers pandering Brian into a van belonging to KWS. So as to who was last seen by Brian, that's not something that requires forensics. It's straightforward. So I think the onus is on the ball is in the court of DCI, quite honestly. And for us and the family, we wait on them to bring the truth out to the open. And we want to seek partnership with you to help us to sustain publicity around this case. Otherwise, that day, this case is not going to be in the media. That's the day we begin to lose justice. But we must keep it alive so that we have justice for the family. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.